Overseas, new details about that massive explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. At least 150 people are confirmed dead. The chemical compound from the blast is being traced back to a Russian ship. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
This morning, a new day of uncertainty for the estimated 250,000 people left homeless by that massive explosion in Beirut. Drone video shows the destruction, massive piles of metal beams where buildings once stood, and hundreds of windows blown out. This satellite image shows the blast site before and after, the area decimated, a crater filled with water where a building once stood. An American living in Beirut describing the nightmare.
I ran down to the street to see what was going on, kind of took cover because so much glass was falling from a bit of everywhere and so much glass on the streets.
This morning, officials at the port of Beirut are under house arrest until an investigation determines who's to blame as we learn more about what fueled the blast. The 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate was confiscated 6 years ago, reportedly from a Russian cargo ship that stopped at the port because of financial difficulties. The New York Times reports the chemical was moved to a dockside warehouse after a dispute over what to do with the cargo, and nothing was apparently done to secure it. And now new concerns about explosive chemicals in neighborhoods here in the U.S. In 2013, an ammonium nitrate explosion at a fertilizer facility in West Texas killed 15 people. A chemical safety board found then that more than 1,300 facilities across the country store ammonium nitrate, and residents are often unaware the chemical is being stored in their community. Back in Beirut, the blast changing lives in the matter of moments. The power of the explosion on display during this interview, the woman later saying she's fine. And this bride was posing for her wedding photos when the blast ripped through the city.
When I heard the explosion, one thing came into my mind, that now my life has changed from wedding, happiness, into a sad moment. Now I'm not going to be the bride. Now I'm gonna die.
Major story we're watching tonight, the desperate search for the missing after that massive explosion in Beirut. At least one U.S. citizen among more than 130 people killed, some 5,000 injured. Our Richard Engel on the many questions still unanswered.
New videos tonight show how the powerful blast changed this city in an instant. A church service was underway when the roof begins caving in. A bride posed for a wedding video. You can hear the first blast. And then a reporter in the upper corner doing a live television interview in Arabic. She survived. Tonight, we learned at least one American is among the more than 100 people who died. At least 5,000 were injured, and hundreds are missing. Hospitals, already struggling with COVID, are beyond capacity.
We have a small hospital. It's a 60-bed hospital, and it's not equipped to receive this number of casualties. I've never seen something like this.
Lebanese officials say the blast was caused by a fire. You can see it popping and sparking. What started it remains unclear. But it grew, setting off the big explosion at a storage facility. Lebanese officials say packed with 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, commonly used in fertilizers. It can also be used for bombs. Timothy McVeigh used it to destroy the federal building in Oklahoma City. The Beirut blast was 1,300 times more powerful. Tonight, Lebanese officials are investigating why so much of this explosive chemical was left at Beirut's port. Lebanese officials say it was seized from a cargo ship 6 years ago. Customs officials claim they asked to get rid of it, but it never happened. Instead, this was the port area before and after, like it was never there.
And Richard, so tonight they're taking action against port officials. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, the Lebanese government says it is placing an unspecified number of port officials under house arrest while the investigation continues, apparently out of concern that they try to leave the country. Lester?
Richard Engel tonight. Richard, thanks.